Hello, my name is Barbara Mainhard, and I am the Outreach Coordinator for the Alpha Center for Divorce Mediation. Our group is always looking for ways to help our clients, and today my guest is Melissa Gattuso, and she is the head of a group called the HIP group, which she's going to discuss in a few moments. And our topic today is very often when couples are getting divorced, and if they've had insurance through the employer or some other way, and now they are faced with having to get individual insurance, how do they go about that? What do they think of? What kind of steps do they need to take? And probably, a little bit about like how much time does it take? We certainly don't want them to wait until after the divorce decree is there to get this started. So, Melissa, I'd like to introduce you and give us a little idea of what the HIP group does.
All right, great. Well, thank you so much for having me. Yes, the HIP group is a fully 100% owned and operated women's company. We have 5 or 6, depending on the projects, full-time employees, and we run an agency that caters towards small groups and individuals. So HIP stands for Health Insurance Personalized. And that's what we try to do. We try to personalize every client to fit their best needs. So as far as clients who are going through a divorce, the important part for us would be to understand what their needs are individually or as a family if they have children, and then which direction should we be going? We want to compare their offering from the former potentially employer. If they have a full-time job, what their benefits would be available for them there, and then also individual insurance, and review those options so that we know we're guiding them in the right direction.
That is wonderful. I recall in a previous life, I was self-employed, and the agonizing part of every year was trying to figure out, the insurance offerings and trying to compare them and understanding like, okay, what does this one do that this one doesn't, et cetera. And I'm guessing that you guys kind of do a lot of that for a client so that they're not on their own trying to pull from multiple locations and multiple resources.
That's correct. We actually have a system set up where we, obviously, the more information we can get from the client, the better, but we'll put together a very easy to read and understand spreadsheet comparing the options. And if we're looking at Cobra and we compare the Cobra to 2 or 3 different individual options, we'll go through, this premium is going to get you this versus this premium is going to get you this. And a lot of people don't get that service. And it's very important for people to understand that, yes, the premium is super important. And especially if you have a strict budget that you're dealing with, but you have to know what you're buying with that premium. So if you pick the plan that's super cheap, and something happens to you and you end up spending all of the savings in your claims, then that's maybe not the best way to go. So, maybe it is, but we need to look at and have the people understand the options and what the premium is paying for.
Right. And in some cases, when people are getting divorced, just as an example, the children might remain on the one spouse's employer-based insurance, and then the ex-spouse is going to have an individual. But in some cases, the spouse who is looking for new insurance will also have the children, so family policies, and of course that probably just compounds the comparison issues.
It can, because there are different plans available out there for kids. So depending on the state that the kids reside in or potentially could reside in down the road, there are different programs available based on, household income. And sometimes they look at both parents' income, even if they aren't, in the same household. So, we can provide sort of that layer where, again, in some of these application processes, the parents need to co-parent and need to provide information that maybe they don't, want to speak to each other about. That's something that we can reach out and just say, CHIP or New Jersey Family Care or whatever, we need to provide them this information. Yep. So yes, we can definitely help out in the communication part to make sure that, again, the kids are covered in the best possible scenario.
That's wonderful, because I know that when our clients go through a divorce, I mean, their lives are upended, and trying to make rational, logical, well thought out decisions about anything can be quite a challenge. So I think this is a really wonderful service that you are providing. Now, when somebody comes to you, is there a fee for this, for coming up with your recommendations?
No, actually, this is where we differ from attorneys. There's no hourly rate for us. We actually provide the service at no charge. So even if we end up, communicating and the COBRA is the way to go, then, it's just a community give back that we offer. Because if we do write a plan, the carriers pay us directly. But we want the clients to know that that is going to be not in the forefront of our mind when we are making any recommendation. We're going to make the recommendation of what's best for the client and what's best for their family, not what's best for us. So
that is just amazing. I think that is absolutely wonderful. As I said, it's a difficult time in their lives, and to have a service like this that kind of paves the way so that they're on the right path, and so they're not going to fall off into the lake or anything.
Exactly. That's all they need in this, and they already have enough to go through. We don't need this to be a difficult part of it.
Right. Well, and so I want to make sure that the people watching this can get to you. What is your website?
Okay, it's www.hip, so HIP dash group, GROUP dash LLC.com. Great.
I want to make sure that shows up here in our video so that people know how to get in touch with you. And I understand that, if for the Alpha clients, you've actually got a button on your site that allows them to just go directly to contact you.
That is correct. Up at the top of the website page, right on the first page, there is a link where you click Alpha Mediation Clients, and it's going to take you directly to our page that's dedicated to those clients. It has some information about divorce and health insurance. We talk a little bit about COBRA, a little about individual health insurance, that kind of thing. And then there's a contact us form. So they would be putting in their name, cell phone number, email address, that kind of thing. And then we can reach out to them directly. At least it gives them a little bit of information before they reach out to us so that they know who we are and are more comfortable. Sometimes people are more comfortable looking at that first as opposed to picking up the phone and making the call.
Yeah, the cold calls always.
Yes, it can be scary. Yeah. But everybody here is super nice and super willing to help in any way that we can. So.
Yeah, and that's really an extension of how we work here at the Alpha Center for Divorce Mediation. Our whole goal from the time our clients come in is we don't look at the what happened before. We're all about like making sure that the client is stable, landing on their feet, and moving forward. So I want to thank you, Melissa, for spending a little time with us today. As I said, please look at the bottom of the screen, and all of the contact information is there. So if you want to reach out to Melissa and talk about these issues, go to her website and she will be happy to contact you and get you the information that you need.
Great. Thank you so much. And we look forward to helping as many of your clients as we can.
Thank you very much.